While I was swimming at the pool, the lifeguard asked me, "When do you think you'll drown?" "I can float for a couple minutes. Why?" "Don't move and don't leave the water no matter what. We need to clear it and evacuate everyone else, but you need to stay." "What's in the water?" My voice came out shaky. He didn't answer. Instead, he raised his whistle and blew 3 sharp blasts that echoed across the pool area. Everyone out of the pool immediately. This is not a drill. Families started rushing toward the ladders and stairs in a chaotic scramble. Kids were crying as parents pulled them out, water splashing everywhere. The shallow end emptied in seconds as people grabbed their belongings and ran. I wanted to join them, but I was stuck floating in 12 feet of water, trying not to move. "Hold still." The lifeguard kept his eyes locked on the water around me. I was trying my best, but my arms were already getting tired from the careful balancing. The sun beat down, and without movement, the water felt colder. Some families had stopped at the fence instead of leaving completely. A few called out encouragement, telling me to relax and breathe and stay as still as possible. Others had their phones out recording whatever was happening. I could see the little red lights pointing at me from multiple angles. 3 other lifeguards appeared with long-handled nets used for cleaning debris. They spread out around different parts of the pool, moving slowly and carefully. The one nearest to me kept the net raised, ready to strike at something. Their faces were all focused on the water like they were hunting. My breathing quickened despite trying to stay calm. Something was in the pool with me. Something dangerous enough to evacuate everyone else, but keep me frozen in place. The lifeguards crept along the edges, scanning every inch of water. One of the lifeguards near the diving board suddenly plunged his net into the water. He struggled with something heavy, pulling and twisting the pole. The other guards rushed over to help, leaving me unwatched for terrifying seconds. Together, they hauled up their catch, and my blood went cold. An alligator thrashed in the net, not huge but big enough at maybe 4 feet. Its tail whipped back and forth as they struggled to control it. The crowd at the fence gasped, and more phones came out. Someone called animal control while the guards carefully carried the netted gator toward the pool house. But the lifeguard assigned to me didn't relax. He kept scanning the water around me with the same intensity. That's when I understood. If there was one, there might be more. "Can I get out now?" My voice cracked with fear. "Not yet. Stay still." He pointed to something in the deep end. A dark shadow moved along the bottom, slow and purposeful, much bigger than the one they'd caught. The guards saw it too. They all shifted positions, trying to get an angle with their nets, but it was too deep, too far from the edges. "It's circling under her," one of them said quietly. My whole body trembled, sending ripples across the surface. The shadow continued its lazy patrol of the deep end, sometimes closer to the surface where I could make out its prehistoric shape, sometimes deeper where it became just a dark blur against the blue. Then someone in the crowd screamed, "There's another one in the shallow end." All heads turned to see a smaller gator that had been hiding near the steps. It must have been there the whole time while families evacuated right past it. One lifeguard ran over with his net, while the others stayed focused on the one beneath me. Animal control arrived in a van pulling up to the pool gate. 2 officers in heavy gloves and protective gear came in with specialized equipment. They took over netting the shallow end gator while assessing the situation with the larger one. "How big is the one under her?" the officer asked. 6 feet at least, maybe 7. The lifeguard's voice was grim. They discussed options while I floated helplessly above the predator. They couldn't net it from the edges. The pool had no drain access to empty it quickly. Tranquilizer guns risked making it thrash and attack. Every solution put me in danger. "We need to get her out without triggering its prey drive." The animal control officer studied the gator's movement pattern. They decided to create a distraction. One officer went to the opposite end of the pool with raw chicken from their van. The plan was to draw the gator away while I swam to safety. But gators were smart. It might not take the bait. When I give the signal, swim straight to the ladder. Don't splash, don't panic, just smooth, steady strokes. The lifeguard positioned himself by the nearest exit point. The officer dropped the chicken into the far end of the pool. The splash made everyone hold their breath. The shadow stopped circling. For a moment, it stayed perfectly still beneath me. Then slowly, it began moving toward the bait. "Wait for it." The lifeguard held up his hand. The gator reached the middle of the pool. Still too close, but getting farther. My muscles screamed from staying rigid so long. The crowd pressed against the fence, recording every second. "Now, swim!" Full story on channel linked below.